Welcome to the San Diego County Academic League, featuring the area's best and brightest high school students. They'll be responding to tough questions in a variety of subject areas, from history to literature to science to math and more. I'm Clark Anthony. Welcome to Academic League. It is the cable TV program with all kinds of questions, and they all have answers. Feel free to see how many you can answer correctly, and our students will do the same. These are high school students from around the county. Both of our teams are in the San Diego Metro League. They are Cathedral Catholic and Francis Parker. We'll meet the coaches, the starting lineup, and then be underway. Jeff McMurtry is a graduate of San Diego State with a master's in humanity from the University of Texas. He is the coach for the Cathedral Catholic team. He's also taught English at Cathedral since it opened in 2005. Prior to that at uni. And I understand you are an avid saltwater fisherman and a dedicated gardener, so I'm curious to know what you catch and what you grow.
Well, anything that San Diego can give us out in the ocean, and as far as what I grow, I have a completely edible landscape for my house, so about 3,000 foot of nothing but garden and trees and fruit.
That's fabulous, but that takes a lot of work too, doesn't it, in addition to teaching, which is no small task?
Well, luckily we have a summer, and we have a winter, and we have a spring vacation. It kind of ends up working out well.
Yeah. I don't suppose you could do the academic league practice or something at your house while everybody's working between the rows?
It's a funny thing, you know, as much as we love service at a Catholic school, we don't love service that much.
A good answer, a very good one. Would you please introduce your starting lineup from left to right for us?
Sure. First we have John Heinschel. He is our very smart junior and the only one in this veteran team that's competing as 11th grader. He plays or has played lacrosse. He does play now badminton coming up in the spring, plays guitar, and sings in his spare time. He's looking to engineer or maybe take a science degree, and still his college choices are a full year off, but MIT, Berkeley, and Notre Dame are in his sights. On our second, we end up having John McCready. He now is a cross-country runner and a veteran of that too, badminton. He's in Model United Nations and Interact clubs. He loves math and government as his subjects, plays clarinet in a youth orchestra, and he's already accepted at Notre Dame, but he's not exactly sure if he's going there yet. We have in the center, we have our captain, Jan Nuki. He's a senior, and he hopes to end up taking an accounting or business degree, though I think he's absolutely wonderful in history. He's a vice president in the Model UN Club, which is going to Berkeley in March, and enjoys golf and piano in his spare time. We have our two longest-term veterans on the end. Abby is our player number 4. She's a senior, enjoying her 4th year here on the team. She's particularly participated in the Cathedral Science Olympiad and serves as an executive on the Ambassadors for Christ Corps. She's been on the track team for 3 seasons and the cross-country team for 4. She's looking into the biological sciences, human anatomy, physiology. She's already been accepted to the University of Notre Dame and is waiting a reply from Duke, Stanford, Dartmouth, and Princeton. So she plans on entering into the medical field as a physician. And finally, we have Renata Schlott. Renata is a senior. She's also my other 4-year veteran. And she is a member of our fencing team, dive team, Ambassador for Christ Corps, Environmental Club, Interact Club, and Journeys Magazine. She's a busy girl. Outside of school, she tutors, works at Scout Camp over the summers, and she's going to be studying biology and peace and justice studies. College, yet to be determined.
Busy, I think, describes every one of your team members and most of the people who play Academic League. I'm surprised they're able to fit it in. Good luck to you and the team.
Thanks a lot, Clark.
All right. Come on over here and say hello to Coach Phil Fickling from Francis Parker High School. Coach, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Clark.
Let me see now. You're teaching English. You're also a football coach. You're a retired naval officer. You've been at Parker since 1994, and I guess coaching the Academic League since about 98?
That's correct, yes.
Over the years, you know, there's ups and downs. Or, you know, more kids come in than want to play, and then there are some maybe that drop out. What has the general flow been over the years? Is the trajectory still up for everything?
Yeah, the trajectory is generally up. You will see that we have a young team, and we're looking forward to this year and the following years because all of our starters are going to be returning.
And you've had a good season too, right?
Yes, we've had a good season so far, and we're looking forward to keeping going, but Cathedral stuff, they're a good team, and we'll have our work cut out for us today.
Well, and as we are at this point in the season, as we're recording this program, we're about halfway through it, so there are still more games to come. I didn't realize you were a former naval officer. What rank?
I retired as a commander.
All right. I got to ask you now, your school is right next door to our ITV studios. Do these kids have to march over?
Absolutely. Yeah. When I was young, I carried a gun.
Yeah. Well, none of you are carrying a gun, though, are you? Okay.
No, we left them out in we left them in the lobby. We checked them in the lobby.
Well, I saw them stacked. You know how they put. Yeah. Would you introduce your before we both get in trouble? Would you introduce your starting lineup from left to right, please?
I shall. Player number 1, Ian Mann, is a junior at Parker. He has attended Parker since the sixth grade and has been competing in Academic League and Quiz Bowl since his sophomore year. He's a member of Parker's robotics team, which is a huge commitment, by the way, and also plays soccer for Parker. Next to him is Preetham Soundarajan, who is a junior at Francis Parker. Preetham has done a number of internships in science and medicine at UCSD. He plays tennis for Parker, and he is also active in Science Olympiad, which just got finished a couple of weeks ago. Player number 3, our captain, Ricky Leary, is a junior. He also participates in Science Olympiad and History Day. His favorite subject for Academic League is astronomy, so we hope we get some questions there. He's an avid sailor and, in fact, is a junior Commodore at the Silvergate Yacht Club. Player number 4, Matthew Hanmacher, also a junior. He attended the School de Madeleine, which is near here, until the 9th grade when he transferred to Parker. He's active in robotics and Science Olympiad, and he does volunteer work at Sharp Memorial Hospital. And on the end here, certainly not last, but on the end, is Olivia Ghosh, who is a sophomore. She is a concert flautist and a tennis player for Parker, active in History Day and the Global Journal Project, which is something we started this year. And she enjoys opera and enjoys all forms of art.
Sounds like a good group. Good luck to you and the team.
Thank you very much, Clark.
Take your spot over there, and I will turn to let you know about our moderator. He's a familiar face to us all. Mark Hines is a teacher at Muirlands Middle School. In addition to that, he's been a City and County Teacher of the Year, a Walmart Teacher of the Year. I think he had a nice blue vest with a lot of happy face buttons for that one. UT San Diego Teacher of the Month, Children's Hospital Champion for Children, and there are a lot more that go with it. But as Mark says, he's just a regular 6th and 7th grade history teacher at the end of the day. And right now, he's our trusty and trusted moderator. Mark, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, Clark. We have 30 minutes to go. We want to thank the San Diego County Office of Education and also San Diego City Schools Office of Advanced Studies for sponsoring Academic League here in the Metro Division. So we'll start the clock with 30 minutes to go, and I'll start with the first toss-up for either team. What is the famous opening line of John Keats' Endymion? A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Let's go to math. What is the second derivative with respect to x of the cosine of 3x? And we'll go to Cathedral.
9 cosine of 3x?
No, I'm sorry. Let me repeat that for you, Francis Parker. What is the second derivative with respect to x of cosine 3x? And now we go to Parker.
-9 cosine 3x.
That's right. The -9 had to be said. So for that, you get a bonus, and we'll stick with math. What is the first derivative of each of the following? A, 2x cubed plus 9x squared plus 6x plus 14. B, sine of 7x. C, tangent 4x squared. And D, 13x to the 5th power. And we'll go to the team captain, Ricky, please.
Okay, for number 1, we have 6x squared plus 18x plus 6. For number 2, we have cosine, 7 times cosine x. And for 3 and 4, we have no answer.
I'm sorry, no. The first one was right, except the whole thing would be squared, 6 squared at the very end. And B, 7 times cosine of 7x. C, 8 times secant squared 4x. And the last one, 65x to the 4th power. And with that, we'll go to the next toss-up. Rembrandt, Hals, Vermeer, and Hobbema were all Dutch masters of art from which century? And right away, we'll go to Cathedral.
16th.
I'm sorry, no, and let me repeat that for you, Parker. Rembrandt, Hals, Vermeer, and Hobbema were all Dutch masters of art from which century? And to Parker.
17th.
17th is right, yes. And for your bonus, name these people involved in recent financial crises. A, this man succeeded Alan Greenspan to become chairman of the Federal Reserve. B, this Secretary of Treasury saved Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac as well as AIG. And finally, C, this Republican chairman of the SEC was lambasted by John McCain for his role in the 2008 economic crisis. Yes, this Republican chairman of the SEC was lambasted by John McCain for his role in the 2008 economic crisis.
Okay.
All right, Ricky, please.
Okay, for number 1 we have Bernanke, for number 2 we have Geithner, and for number 3 we have Boehner.
Number 1 is correct for 1 point. Henry Paulson would have been that second one, and Chris Cox the third. And we'll go back to the toss-ups. Which nation has sovereignty over the Juan Fernandez Archipelago and also Easter Island, bordered by, and we'll go to Parker.
Chile.
Chile is right. We'll go back to math for your bonus. Tell what shape is created by graphing each of these equations in a typical xy plane. A, y equals 2x minus 6. B, y equals x squared minus 2. C, x squared plus y squared equals 17. And D, y equals the absolute value of x.
Okay, we have our answers.
Ricky.
For number 1 we have line, for number 2 we have parabola, for number 3 we have circle, and for number 4 we have a V shape.
Yes, all are correct. 5 points, please. For either team now, 2 neighboring East African nations, Rwanda and Burundi, gained their independence on July 1st, 1062. Which European colonial power had ruled these nations under a League of Nations mandate and then under a UN trusteeship? To Parker.
Belgium.
Yes, that's right. And for your bonus, at its northernmost point, the Red Sea splits and forms 2 gulfs. Can you name those?
Gulf of, what? Okay, so we have our answers.
Ricky?
We have the Gulf of Aqaba and the Gulf of Sinai.
Aqaba is correct for 3 points. Gulf of Suez would have been that other answer. Thank you, and we'll go back to the toss-ups. Identify the American composer of Appalachian Spring, and we go to Parker.
Copeland.
Yes, Aaron Copland. And for your bonus, Edentata are any of an order of mammals having incomplete sets of teeth or no teeth at all. A, name the only 3 living edentates, and B, name the only one native to the United States.
Okay, you have any ideas? Well, I want to try platypus, echidna, and I'm just naming the what? Hedgehog. Okay. We have our answers.
Ricky.
Platypus, echidna, and a hedgehog. And hedgehog is native to North America.
Well, those were good, but unfortunately not the answers. Anteaters, armadillos, sloths, and then for North America, the armadillo would have been that answer. Let's go back to the toss-ups. Name the Mediterranean port which served between 15 and 1800 as the base from which the Barbary pirates terrorized, and we'll go to Cathedral.
Tripoli.
No, I'm sorry, and I'll repeat that for Parker. Name the Mediterranean port which served between 15 and 1800 as the base from which the Barbary pirates terrorized the region. And we go to Parker.
Tunis.
No, Algiers would have been that answer. For either team now, determine the limit as x approaches 0 of sine 7x divided by x. We go to Cathedral.
1/7.
No, I'm sorry, and I'll repeat that for you, Parker. Determine the limit as x approaches 0 of sine 7x divided by x. And we go to Parker.
7.
Yes, 7 is the right answer for that. So for your bonus, the prefix mega means great or large. I'll give you the definition of 3 words with the prefix mega, and you give me the word. A, delusions of grandeur. B, a great stone. And C, a region of several great cities.
Metropolis. Mega.
All right, Ricky, please.
I will defer to Ian.
Ian.
For 1, we have megalomania. For number 2, we have megalith. And for 3, we have megatropolis.
1 and 2 are correct for 3 points. Megalopolis would have been that last one. Back to the toss-ups. Tell me the number of the following amendment to the Constitution. Excessive bail shall not, and we go to Cathedral.
7.
No, I'm sorry, and let me repeat that for you, Parker. Tell me the number of the following amendment to the Constitution. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. Now to Parker.
6th.
Actually, 8th would have been that answer. For either team, what is the SI unit for charge? To Parker.
Coulomb.
Yes. And for your bonus, the Arkansas River touches 4 states. Can you name those 4 states?
Yeah.
It's Arkansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Kansas.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to defer to that.
Sorry. My fault. We have our answers.
Yes, please, Ricky.
Arkansas, Colorado, Oklahoma, and Kansas.
Yes, all of those are correct for 5 points. We'll go to the next toss-up. Educated in Hong Kong as a physician, this man later devoted himself to secret activities aiming at the overthrow of the Chinese monarchy. Following the Chinese Revolution in 1911, we go to Cathedral.
Sun Yat-sen.
Yes, Dr. Sun Yat-sen. And for your bonus, Cathedral, the Truman Doctrine was established by Congress to combat communist aggression after World War II. Can you name the 2 Mediterranean countries which were supposed to receive aid under this plan?
Greece and Turkey. We have our answers.
I think I heard your answers, but I'll ask again. Go right ahead.
Greece and Turkey.
Yes, those are both right for 5 points. Let's go back to the toss-ups. What German city, the Florence on the Elbe, was almost completely destroyed during a firestorm? And we'll go back to Cathedral.
Dresden.
Yes, that's right, Dresden. For your bonus, answer each of the following questions about the line 4x minus y equals 8. A, what is the slope? B, is the function increasing, decreasing, or undefined? C, for what value of x does the graph cross the x-axis? And for what value of y does the graph cross the y-axis?
X-axis at, hold on. Slope is A, increasing is B, and then x-axis is C, y-axis is D. D is negative.
Would you have for C?
Yes, D is negative 8.
Would you have for C?
0,2 for like 2.
So what value of 0?
2.
All right, and we'll go to Jen, please.
For A, we have 4, B, increasing, C, 0, and D, negative 8.
1, 2, and 4 are correct for 3 points. 2 would have been the answer to that the third one. Thank you. For either team, identify the romantic composer who created the familiar Spring Song. Maybe it's not so familiar. Mendelssohn. Let's go to the next toss-up. In meteorology, what is the name for the horizontal wind velocity for which the Coriolis acceleration exactly balances? We go to Parker.
The jet stream.
No, I'm sorry, and let me repeat that for you, Cathedral. In meteorology, what is the name for the horizontal wind velocity for which the Coriolis acceleration exactly balances the horizontal pressure force? And now to Cathedral.
The Coriolis effect?
Actually, no, it's called the geostrophic wind. What is the sum of the number of degrees intercepted by a central angle of 85 degrees and inscribed angle of 85 degrees? And to Cathedral.
255 degrees?
Yes, that's right.
Oh, cool.
And for your bonus, order the following 4 substances from the one that will show the least increase in temperature for each single calorie added to 1 gram of that substance to the one that will show the most. And here are the substances: aluminum, iron, tungsten, and water. And your scoring will stop if you make a mistake.
Okay, so we're looking for low specific heat, high specific heat. Water has a... No, metals have lowest.
Yeah, that was what. I want to go with like
So, okay, so water will be first, then,
I'm going to go with AL.
No, please.
All right, and we'll go to Jen, please.
For A, water, B, aluminum, C, iron, and D, tungsten.
Yes, they're all right. 5 points. It means professed power of discerning objects not present to the senses or acuteness of perception. This word is derived from the French language. Do you know what word I'm talking about? To Parker.
Clairvoyant?
Yes, that's right. Nice. For your bonus, identify the following related to tests used by the Supreme Court. So here we go. A, developed during the 1973 court case, this average person community standards-based test established 3 rules for determining what forms of expression could be defined as obscene and thus not protected by the First Amendment. B, this 3-pronged test developed in 1971 established the grounds for how legislation dealing with religion could be constructed, and it suggests, among other things, that no government action could result in excessive government entanglement with religion. And finally, C, in 2007, the court reutilized the so-called obviousness test, which suggests that if an ordinary person could have combined elements for an innovation, this type of exclusive right cannot stand.
I have no idea for any of these. For number 2, do you think...
Should we waste time on this question?
What? No, we're not going to waste time. Okay, yeah, sure. Let's. We have our answers.
Yes, please.
For number 1, we have clear and present danger. For number 2, we have no answer. And for number 3, we have patent.
Number 3 is correct for 1 point. The Miller test would have been the first, and the Lemon test would have been the second. Time out, Francis Parker.
What's the future of your business? It's right here in this student-designed robot.
Xylophone.
It's in the knowledge of words.
Xylophone. Xylophone.
Knowledge of math.
1, we have -10, 2, we have 11, and 3, we have the third quadrant.
All 3 are correct for 3 points.
And discovery of science. What's the future of your business? It's in academic competition. It goes beyond the classroom, inspiring students to think in new ways, building teams that share, create, and make new connections in the brain. What's the future of your business?
It's in your customers,
your leaders, your employees.
Right now, we call them students, and you'll be calling on them soon. Get involved in the future of your business. Find out how you can support San Diego academic competition. Call 858-292-3850. 858-292-3850.
Do you know what a bass is?
Yeah, it's like a guitar with 4 strings and a lower sound.
No, a bass. A-B-A-S-E.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's to lower in rank. Or say humiliate. For example, I might say I abased you by quickly knowing the definition of your word.
Oh, how humiliating.
Exactly.
We're back after a quick break. There's been some changes here. We have 15 minutes left, so we're about halfway through the match. The score is Francis Parker 42 and Cathedral 17. I'm going to call on the team captain for Francis Parker to tell us who's just arrived. Ricky, please.
Okay, so we have David on my immediate left and Jimmy on my farther left, and they are both sophomores. Thank you.
We welcome both of you. And with that, we'll start the clock and go to the next toss-up. What name designates the long vocal solo in opera and to Francis Parker?
Aria?
Yes, that's right, Aria.
Okay.
Parker, for your bonus, I'll name some explorers and you name the country they represent, please. Or represented. A, Sir Francis Drake.
England.
B, Vasco da Gama.
Spain.
C, Vasco de Balboa. D, Pedro Cabral. And E, Henry Hudson.
Hudson.
England.
Netherlands.
Cabral.
Can you repeat number 4 for me?
Number 4, Pedro Cabral.
Cabral. I think Portugal.
Yeah, go with Portugal.
And I think
Portugal.
I think
All right, and we'll go to Ricky, please.
for number one we have England. For number two we have Spain. For number three we have Spain again. For number four we have Portugal, and for number five we have Netherlands.
All are correct except number two, which would have been Portugal, and that gives you 4 points. And with that, we'll go to the next toss-up. Which chemistry rule states that the lowest energy arrangement of electrons, we go to Cathedral.
Hund rule?
Say it again, please.
Hund's rule?
Yes, that's right. For your bonus, identify some prominent pyramid builders from Egyptian history. A, the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed for this 4th dynasty pharaoh whose achievements seriously damaged Egypt's economy. B, this great step pyramid is attributed to this minister, later defined as a god of medicine. And C, Egypt's pyramid building was begun in earnest by this founder of the 4th dynasty who constructed the medium pyramid.
Khafre, which is right, and then Djoser is right, and C.
Ramses is second. If you're gonna guess Ramses, Ramses is second.
Ramses second is good. The ruler? Yeah, let's go with Ramses second. Okay. Yes, sir.
And we'll go to Jan.
For A, we have Khafre, B, Djoser, and C, Ramses II.
No, I'm sorry. Khufu would have been the first one, the second Imhotep, and the last Senefru. Thank you. In which state are the Catoctin Mountains? And this is where the U.S. presidents go to Camp David for a break. To Cathedral.
Maryland.
Yes, that's right. And for your bonus, using the Greek-derived names, what 5 polyhedra are often called Platonic solids?
Oh, I mean like the tetrahedron?
Cube is one way.
That's not
Like tetrahedron. Tetrahedron.
Tetrahedron, yeah.
And hex. Okay.
All right, Jan, please.
Dodecahedron, icosahedron, tetrahedron, pentahedron, hexahedron.
You have 4 correct. The pentahedron was not correct, but octahedron would have worked for that one, so 4 points. Thank you. For other team, what does the integration of sine x dx equal? To Francis Parker.
Negative cosine x plus c.
That's correct. And I will read you a bonus. Name the authors who created each of the following characters. A, Scrooge, B, Captain Ahab, C, Heathcliff, and D, Uncle Tom.
Who created Uncle Heathcliff? Bronte? Okay.
Which one?
Okay.
Ricky, please.
For number one, we have Dickens. For number two, we have Melville. For number three, we have Bronte. And number four, we have Stowe.
And C, Bronte, a first name is required.
Okay, let's go with Charlotte.
Okay. 1, 2, and 4 are correct for 3 points. Emily Bronte would have been there.
Rawr.
Thank you. For either team, now what language arose from trade between the Arabs and East? And we go to Parker.
Swahili.
Yes, that's right, Swahili. Parker, for your bonus, tell whether or not there exists a real number x such that A, sine x plus cosine x equals 1, B, sine x plus cosine x equals -1, C, cosecant x equals 0, and D, tangent x equals 1.
I'm kidding. Okay, we have our answers.
Yes, please, Ricky.
Okay, we have yes, yes, no, yes.
Yes, 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 yes. 5 points for you there.
Darn.
For either team now, women's suffrage has been in effect for many years. After the passage of the Women's Suffrage Amendment, who was the first president elected? To Parker.
Harding.
Yes, Harding. And for your bonus, a group of lions is called a pride. We all know that. But give the group name for each of the following animals. A, turkeys. B, clams. C, kangaroos. D, hyenas. And E, ducks.
Ducks. Oh, God. Flock of ducks?
No, it's a flock of ducks.
That's right. So a Joey.
Kangaroos is
A hop along. I don't know.
Go with it. Maybe like a potter.
Hop along. That was for number 3.
All right, Ricky, please.
For number 1, we have a gaggle of turkeys. For number 2, we have a pod. For number 3, we have a hop along of kangaroos. For number 4, we have no answer. And for number 5, we have a flock of ducks.
Those were very creative. Unfortunately, no, I'm sorry. A gang of turkeys, believe it or not.
Oh.
Bed of clams.
Okay.
Troop of kangaroos. Cackle of hyenas. And a, believe it or not, brace of ducks. Let's go back to the toss-ups. What American commander-in-chief made the first presidential visit to Moscow? To Cathedral.
Nixon.
That's right. Let's go to Andy Warhol for your bonus. A, he said, in the future, everyone will be famous for this long. B, he did at least 2 orange pictures of this blonde actress. C, his first solo exhibition had 15 drawings based on writings of this author of In Cold Blood. And D, in his portrait of Maurice, Maurice is this kind of animal.
Dog. Oh, man. Okay, we have our answers.
Yes, please, Jen.
15 minutes, Marilyn Monroe, Poe, and a dog.
1, 2, and 4 are correct for 3 points. Truman Capote was the author of In Cold Blood. And back to the toss-ups. What is the value of 3 times the log to the base 5 of 25? To Cathedral.
6.
That's right. Cathedral, unemployment insurance was first passed as an act by a state in 1932. A, what northern state was the first to pass this act into law? And B, who was the governor that signed the enactment into law?
1932, Governor Al Smith. What state? I don't know, New York? It's northern state, right?
Vermont for some reason. New York would have this.
Or Massachusetts, one of those two. Okay.
We go to Jen.
For A, New York, and B, Al Smith.
No, I'm sorry. Wisconsin was that state, and his name was Philip Lafayette.
Oh.
For either team, trilobites are extinct members of which animal phylum that contains, and we go to Parker.
Anthropodia.
Yes, that's right. And order the following 4 ecosystems from highest percentage of the Earth's surface to the lowest: tropical rainforest, continental shelf, tundra, estuary. And the scoring will stop when you make a mistake.
Estuary would be the lowest.
No, I think. Yeah, tropical maybe. Tropical highest.
And we'll go to Ricky.
Okay, for number 1 we have continental shelf. For number 2 we have
I need an answer.
tundra. For number 3 have...
Stop, please. Continental shelf is correct for 1 point. Tropical rainforest would have been next, then tundra, and then estuary. All right, for either team, identify the British imperialist and business magnate who in the 1880s set out to fulfill a dream of British domination of Africa from Cape, and we go to Parker.
Cecil Rhodes.
Cecil Rhodes, yes.
Nice. Great.
Order the following from the substance with the lowest dielectric constant to the highest: air, quartz, rubber, pure water. And again, your scoring will stop if you make a mistake.
Air. I'm going to say quartz is going to be high. Air, water. It's lowest to highest, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We have our answers.
Yes, please.
Air, water.
Stop, please. Air is correct for 1 point. Rubber, quartz, and pure water would have been the rest of those answers. Let's go back to the toss-ups. What is the log base 3 of 243? To Cathedral.
7.
No, I'm sorry, and let me repeat that for you, Parker. What is the log base 3 of 243? Now to Parker.
5.
Yes, 5 is correct. For your bonus, the United States received from Britain in 1948 defense base sites in exchange for 50 old model destroyers. The sites were to be controlled for 99 years. Can you name any 4 of the 8 bases?
Yeah, Hong Kong, right? Or no, oh, it's England to the United Kingdom. Oh, Well, I don't know Chinese. We have no answers.
Okay, Newfoundland, Bermuda, Bahamas, Jamaica, Antigua, St. Lucia, Trinidad, or British Guiana would have worked there. Time out, Francis Parker.
Once you see the world through math and science, you'll never see anything the same way again. Go to girlsgotech.org.
You'll see.
This SAT word, abdicate. What's it mean to abdicate?
Isn't that when you do crunches to strengthen your abs?
Abdicate, a verb. To give up on something formally, such as ownership or power.
Yeah, like I said, you do crunches and abdicate those extra pounds by developing your abs. Abdicate.
I think you've abdicated your senses.
Why, thank you.
We took a brief break for Francis Parker, and they've made a substitution. But with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left in our match, Francis Parker has 77 and Cathedral a score of 35. We're going to go to Ricky now, the team captain for Francis Parker, who's just come on.
We have Matt Hammacher back in.
Okay, so we welcome you back, and we'll go ahead with the first question for either team. In 1914, she received a Gold Medal of Honor from the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts for her many paintings that included women and children. Can you name this to Cathedral?
Mary Cassatt.
Yes, that's right. Cathedral, for your bonus, give a precise definition for each of these figures of speech originating from mythology and ancient history. A, crossing the Rubicon. B, Achilles' heel. And C, Greek gift.
The precise definition. So, no gift.
Greek gift. That's just false.
Yeah,
Okay, Jan, please.
For A, no going back. B, a weakness. And C, a false gift.
Yes, those are fine. 5 points. Let's go back to the toss-ups. Name the fossilized resin that comes mainly from now, and we go to Cathedral.
Amber?
Amber is correct, yes. Cathedral, there have been 3 U.S. presidents from Tennessee, but none of them was born in that state. Can you name those 3?
Johnson, Jackson. Abigail's in Texas. Harrison, he's from Pennsylvania.
Johnson, Jackson,
not recent. Carter's from Georgia. Not him. Whatever. That's good.
Jan, please.
Andrew Johnson, Andrew Jackson, and Hayes.
The first 2 you got correct for 3 points. Polk would have been that third one. Thank you. For either team, an international scholarship program sponsored by the United States has enabled thousands of Americans to study abroad and brought over numerous foreign citizens to the United States since its inception in 1950. And we go to Cathedral.
The Foreign Exchange Student Program?
No, I'm sorry, and let me repeat that for you. Francis Parker, an international scholarship program sponsored by the United States, has enabled thousands of Americans to study abroad and brought over numerous foreign citizens to the United States since its inception in 1950. Identify this program named after an American senator. Now to Parker.
The Rhodes Scholarship.
Actually, it's Fulbright Scholarship. What is the term for a short poem describing a picturesque episode or scene of rustic life? You might think of Alfred Lloyd Tennyson. That answer is idle. What is the cotangent of 225 degrees in simplest form? To Francis Parker.
1.
Yes, 1. And for your bonus, name the first 4 countries a person would pass overflying due south of Miami, Florida, along the line of 80 degrees west longitude.
Oh, first four. So is that in order?
It doesn't have to be in any order.
Okay. Yeah, Brazil, I think. Yes. I don't think Venezuela's over that far.
Argentina.
Suriname. Something else.
And we go to Ricky, please.
Okay, so we have
I need your
answer. Dominican Republic, Suriname, Brazil, and Argentina.
No, I'm sorry. Cuba, Panama, Ecuador, and Peru would have been those. Thank you. Divided into old order and conservative sects, they practice maidang, or the shunning of those who have violated church law. Can you name this Christian group? And we go to Cathedral.
The Amish.
The Amish, yes, that's true. And Cathedral, for your bonus, the delegates of the 5 states met at Hartford, Connecticut from December 1814 to January 1815 to discuss seceding from the United States and signing a separate peace with England. Can you name any 4 of the 5 states?
The states? So Connecticut, New York, Wait, no, New Hampshire, not New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Not Massachusetts.
And we go to Jan.
Okay, Connecticut, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island.
Those 4 are correct, and you could have said Vermont. That'll give you 5 points, and I heard our buzzer end, so I'm going to turn it over to Clark.
Thank you, Mark. I'm sure you agree that was a great match. We love it when we have teams with personalities, and we definitely did in this case. Before we congratulate Francis Parker, I want to give a tip of the hat to Cathedral. I don't know if you noticed, but they were very quiet as they started out, and their score said 0 for a long time, but actually we don't show negative numbers. Every time they answer a question incorrectly, a toss-up, they lose a point. So they actually were 5 points in the hole, dug themselves back out, came up with 56 points during the match. Francis Parker was a bit unstoppable, though, with a final score of 80. So congratulations to both of our teams. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you more next time with Academic League here on ITV.